It's Game 3 of our best-of-5 series between Team USA and Team World in our Rockies Baseball Classic here, presented by Purple Row. I'm Skylar Timmons, again calling the action for you here on YouTube as part of the Sideline Crowd YouTube channel, along in conjunction with PurpleRow.com. Team World has won the first 2 games of this series, looking to clinch it here with Jorge De La Rosa on the mound, as he'll once again pitch here at Coors Field and face a Team USA lineup that is desperate for a victory. They've dropped the first 2, just managed 1 run in Game 2 against Pedro Estacio. And so Team USA really looking to jumpstart things. They'll send Eric Young to the mound, get a little bit of a different leadoff batter here. The third different leadoff hitter for Team USA in as many games. Eric Young leading off, playing second today for Team USA. DJ LeMahieu will get the day off. Charlie Blackmon will slot all the way back down to the center, or down into the 9-hole. That pitch misses 1-1. Beautiful day here at Coors Field, as these two teams square off. Eric Young, notably hitting that leadoff home run in 1993 at Mile High Stadium, shoots this one into the camera well. 1-2. One of his most notable leadoff home runs in Rockies history. 1-2 to Young, and shot the other way to first. Galarraga gathers it in, and he'll take it to the bag. 1 away, as Jorge De La Rosa gets his first ground ball victim. So the Team USA will line up Eric Young, Trevor Story, Todd Helton, Dante Bichette in the cleanup spot. Arenado Tulowitzki will be the DH. Matt Holliday in left, Chris Iannetta behind the dish, and Charlie Blackmon batting 9th will play center field. Rockies and Team USA looking to spark some offense at the top of the lineup, get a little bit more speed. So you have Eric Young, then Trevor Story. As a good 1-2 combo for speed. If you can get guys on base, opens up a lot of opportunities to score some runs. 2-0 to Story. That one misses high. He's way ahead here, 3-0, with Todd Helton waiting on deck in the left-on-left matchup. Just 2 lefties in the USA lineup today. And that one misses ball 4, so De La Rosa wants nothing to do with Trevor Story. Walks him on 4 straight pitches. And they've got a man aboard with 1 out, and the Todd father coming up. Well, Jorge De La Rosa, the left-hander out of Monterrey, Mexico, spent 9 years in a Rockies uniform. Story takes off for second. The swing and a miss by Helton. The throw down, not in time. Story with a big jump. Quick pop-up time there by Miguel Olivo behind the dish. Story's just in ahead of the throw. Helton trying to protect the runner, swings at the fastball, so 0-1, runner at second. And this one shot back up the middle, scooped up by Uribe, throw on to first, and Helton is retired. Juan Uribe, ranging to his left, makes the easy play. Story moves up to third, but there are 2 away now for Dante Bichette. Bichette with a double in the first inning of Game 2, but Todd Helton was thrown out trying to score from first. And that really killed the momentum the rest of the way for Team USA in Game 2. They ultimately ended up losing by quite a bit, only scoring 1 run. Here's the 1-0 to Bichette. That misses outside, 2-0. De La Rosa trying to find the zone. The 2-0 to Bichette, misses high, 3-0. Well, Team USA has been a very right-handed heavy lineup in these first 2 games against right-handed pitchers. Now with the lefty on the mound, a little bit better matchup for them, as Bichette watches the called strike 1 at the letters. Opens up a lot better opportunities for them offensively with that left-on-right matchup. Here's the 3-1 to Bichette. Misses high, ball 4. So Bichette draws the second walk of the inning. That'll put men on the corners with 2 outs. And Nolan Arenado coming up to the plate. De La Rosa, not typically one to issue walks, usually a very finesse-type pitcher. In his 9 years with Colorado, allowed just a little under 4 walks per 9 innings and struck out just a little under 8 batters per 9 innings. First pitch to Arenado misses inside, ball 1. So he's fighting his command here a little bit with men on the corners. And that slider misses outside, 2-0. No respite for him after this batter. Tulowitzki waits on deck. Here's the 2-0 to Arenado. And that fastball misses inside, 3-0. So Jorge De La Rosa in danger of loading the bases with 2 outs and a heavy hitter waiting on deck. 3-0 to Arenado. In there for a called strike on the outside corner. Just a get me over strike. 3-1. Arenado's still in the driver's seat, but De La Rosa could easily get a ground ball here. And that misses outside, ball 4. So that'll load the bases, back-to-back walks. And Jorge De La Rosa is in trouble here in the first inning. So big RBI opportunity here for Troy Tulowitzki. Had a home run in game 2. Strong performance offensively. Did everything he could. But now bases loaded. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Got to capitalize. First pitch is a called strike the letters. De La Rosa not backing down from the designated hitter, the superstar shortstop. Pitch popped up, foul territory. That's going to get into the seats, 0-2. Big spot here for De La Rosa. Got a lot of ground balls. His highest percentage of ground balls. Game in 2015, he had a 51.4% ground ball rate of batted balls. That one misses outside, 1-2. 23 pitches this inning for De La Rosa, just 9 strikes. He struggled to find the zone. Another 1-2. Called strike 3. Froze him with a fastball up and in, and Team USA leaves them loaded. Jorge De La Rosa doesn't succumb to pressure. Punches out Tulowitzki, and that'll leave him loaded despite 3 walks in the inning. Way to the bottom of the first, no score. Mike Hampton, the left-hander, will get the start for Team USA. Native out of Brooksville, Florida. Spent 2 seasons in Colorado. From 2001 to 2002. 62 starts, went 21-28 with a 5.75 ERA. Was an all-star. Won 2 Cy Young Awards. It's a shame he's not batting in this game, because he was known to hit quite a few. Probably the prolific Rockies hitting pitcher. He gets ahead of Willie Taveras here, 0-1. Next pitch to Taveras is sinker, fouled away. So Hampton's well ahead here, 0-2 to start things off. And a called strike 3, frozen with a fastball in the outside corner, and Willie Taveras is retired. Mike Hampton, 3 pitches, 1 strikeout. Nice framework there by Chris Iannetta on the outside corner as Taveras was taking all the way. So 1 out. Kaz Matsui up to the plate. And he swings at the sinker below the knees, 0-1. Willie Taveras and Kaz Matsui been a damaging crew at the top of the lineup for Team World in the previous 2 games. A nice 1-2 punch at the top of the lineup as the changeup misses low. Oftentimes, what the sequence was is Willie Taveras would get on base, steal second, and then Matsui would just hit a little single and drive him in. And he just kept doing that. Dribbler down the line, but in foul territory as Hampton will scoop it up. 1-2. But that 1-2 punch at the top of the lineup has really been the dagger for Team World and really setting up a lot of the runs that they've been able to score in these previous 2 games. They're looking to capitalize again here in game number 3. Slow roller to first. This will stay fair. Hampton will take it to the bag. And that's out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for Mike Hampton. Here's how Team World will line up. Willie Taveras, Matsui, then Andres Galarraga, followed by Larry Walker, Vinny Castilla at third, Carlos Gonzalez in left. A little bit of changes here. Juan Uribe will play short. Willeen Rosario will be the DH. And Miguel Olivo will do the catching behind the dish. Here's the first pitch to Andres Galarraga. Watches the pitch outside, 1-0. Team World, very diverse lineup, managing to get quite a few right-handers in there for this game. Here's the 1-0 to Galarraga. Big swing and a miss at the changeup. Larry Walker and Carlos Gonzalez, really the only natural lefties in this lineup. Then you've got the switch hitter in Kaz Matsui. Otherwise, everybody else is a right-hander. With the platoon situation, so they subbed out Justin Morneau, who had been the DH. And then Yorvit Torrealba gets the day off with Miguel Olivo getting a chance. And a big swing and a miss, tied him up in knots. And Mike Hampton, a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the first. Pair of punch-outs and a ground out. We're tied at 0-0 as Matt Holliday will lead off things in the top of the second for Team World, or Team USA rather. Matt Holliday hasn't been able to do much in this series so far. Much like the rest of this USA lineup, bats have been relatively quiet. He watches a ball miss low, ball 1. He jumps on that fastball from De La Rosa and fouls it away. The 1-1 to Holliday, dribbler down the third baseline. Castilla gets it. Strong throw to first. And there's one away. May get a look here defensively for Team World. Well, Carlos Gonzalez in left, Taveras, Walker. And then on the infield, Vinny Castilla, Juan Uribe in place of Nafi Perez today. Kaz Matsui at second, Galarraga at first, and Miguel Olivo behind the plate. So still very good defensively for this Team World. As Chris Iannetta watches ball 1, just below the knees. Here's the 1-0 to Iannetta. Called strike on the outside corner with the curveball, 1-1. De La Rosa will utilize that curveball. He's got that nasty hook and that changeup. You can spot that fastball around and then pull the string on you. Rack up the punch-outs. The 1-1 to Iannetta. This one's golfed into left field, hooking, and that's going to stay fair in the corner. Cargo's got it, fires it in, but Chris Iannetta with a one-out double. First hit of the ball game. And Team USA's got themselves a base runner in scoring position. Pitch ran inside, and Iannetta able to hook it. That was a slice. Almost looked like it was going to drift foul, but manages to catch some open real estate. So, man, it's second with one out for Charlie Blackmon. Blackmon in center field. Swings at the first pitch, the curveball. Manages to get a piece of it to foul it away. Team USA hasn't had trouble getting extra base hits. They've just haven't been able to stretch together a number of hits to drive in runs. Blackman fires that changeup, fouls it straight back, 0-2. You don't have very good speed at second base, so Blackman have to get one into the gap to score. Ionetta pops one up around home plate. Olivo will make the catch for out number 2. So missed opportunity there for Charlie Blackman as De La Rosa manages to get the pop-up. I'll bring up Eric Young. Grounded out to first his last time up. Gets a chance here with 2 outs and a man at second. Another scoring opportunity for Team USA. So still over with men in scoring position. 1-0 to Eric Young. Grounder to third. Vinny Castilla will fire on to first, and that'll end the threat. The 1-out double by Ionetta. Still not enough as he is stranded on the base paths. We head to the bottom of the second. Team Worlds 4, 5, and 6 due up. Larry Walker, the Canadian Hall of Famer, will lead things off here in the bottom of the second. Walker has continued to play stellar defense in right field and been a solid presence at the plate as Hampton gets ahead of him here 0-1. The 0-1 coming from Hampton. Walker checks his swing, and they say he went around. That one was in the dirt and bounced off of Ionetta's shin guard. So Hampton quickly ahead 0-2 against Walker. Sinker misses up and in, 1-2. Big swing and a miss. Got him with a sinker. Third strikeout of the game for Hampton as Walker is retired. I'll bring up Vinny Castilla. Hampton showing some nice control here on the mound as Castilla will watch ball 1 outside with the fastball. Castilla out of Mexico. Still among one of the best Mexican-born players, especially hitters in Major League Baseball. Fouls that one away. I think one of the coolest things that can happen, you see a lot of these Rockies players, more so out of Canada, but you can, when you compare them, this one grounds out to Eric Young, 2 away. You can compare them to guys from their own country. So, guys like Castilla, Pedro Estacio, those type of guys, you can compare them to the other Mexican-born players and see the impact they have in their Hall of Fame careers in that country. Same goes for Canada. We've got Rockies of Larry Walker in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. Jeff Francis was just elected and inducted into the Canada Baseball Hall of Fame. Justin Morneau is also in there. And you have their local Hall of Fames. This is a liner over to short. Story grabs it. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Mike Hampton. That'll end the second. We head to the third. 2-3-4 due up for Team USA here in the Rockies Baseball Classic. Well, that isn't the crew that's broadcasting. It is me, Skylar Timmons, calling all these Purple Rose Sims. As Trevor Story watches a fastball up and out of the zone, 1-0. Like I was saying to finish that thought, it's just cool to see, while they may not be Baseball Hall of Fame, Cooperstown, a lot of these players are still impactful, whether it be in their states, their communities, their countries. There's still significance there. So while they may not necessarily be Major League Baseball Hall of Famers, their careers can still mean a lot with their achievements and their impact in their countries. And that's something always fun to remember, that, yeah, they may not get honored here, but they're still honored somewhere for their contributions. Here's the 2-2 to Story. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Never really swung the bat much, but De La Rosa spots a fastball down and in. Second strikeout of the game. And that's how inning number 3 will start. Story didn't quite agree with it, but he was right in the zone. So 1 away for Todd Helton. So we'll watch a curveball bounce in the dirt, 1-0. But also would be nice for the Rockies themselves to have a team Hall of Fame. Not sure why they haven't done one yet, but they in nearly 30 years, it's about time that you start honoring a lot more of these players. There's just 2 numbers retired in Todd Helton and Larry Walker. And while you don't have to retire everybody's number to honor them, you can still have a team Hall of Fame to honor guys. Todd Helton, Larry Walker. You can get guys like Dante Bichette, Andres Galarraga, Vinny Castilla, Tulowitzki, Holiday. Well, a lot of these guys that are significant members of Rockies history. Jorge De La Rosa, another example. Helton watches a fastball inside, 3-2. That would be a great thing. You could draw a big crowd to honor him for an induction ceremony during the season. Bobblehead giveaway, all kinds of stuff. Helton sends this one into left field. Cargo comes in. He'll make the catch. So out number 2. De La Rosa getting up there in pitches, 46 already. So they're trying to things away. Bichette walked back in the first, and then was stranded on the base paths after the Team USA left him loaded. First pitch to Bichette. Big swing and a miss with a fastball up and in. Bichette was thinking about sending that one into lower downtown Denver, out of the stadium. But a big whiff, so it's 0-1. De La Rosa kicks and deals. And this one's grounded to third. Castillo's got it again. And once again, connects with Galarraga to end the inning. Or end the half for Team USA. They go down in order. Still no score here as we head to the bottom of the third. Team World coming up. Juan Uribe will lead things off for Team World, the shortstop. Spent the first couple years of his career in Colorado, before then gaining more notoriety outside of his time in Colorado. Notably with the White Sox. Spent time with the Giants and a lot of time with the Dodgers. Last played in 2016 with Cleveland. That pitch misses 2-0. Been 5 years in Los Angeles and in Chicago. Bounces that one foul. His time in Colorado, Uribe played in 314 games. He dealt with injuries here. Slash 258, 298, and 408. Grounder to second. Eric Young ranges over to get it. He'll throw on to first. And out number 1 is Uribe's retired. Uribe, 24 home runs in a Rockies uniform, though. Drove in 135. Probably was considered that shortstop of the future, but injuries and probably less than ideal success at the big league level, team traded him over to Chicago. Willian Rosario will stand in now and swings and fouls one back. Willian Rosario currently, he's been making the rounds in the international leagues. Played in Korea, played in the Mexico leagues. Maybe just signed to go play over in the Taiwan league. Big swing and miss, 1-2. An interesting story, though, for the Rockies was Willian Rosario, the baby bull. Pitch misses inside, 2-2. Now, originally starting off as the catcher, and he was a bat-first type of catcher. And rookie season. I believe he slugged like 28 homers as a rookie. Really had some strong numbers offensively in his first years. He strikes out here. 4th strikeout for Mike Hampton. But the defense was just lacking so bad for Rosario. Actually, they moved him over to first at one point. Still not great, and his numbers just continued to decline until he was ultimately released by the club. But Rosario's that story of, what if there had been a DH in the National League during his time? How would that have altered the course of his career? Because he has been fantastic internationally. Power numbers, hits for a decent average, everything you want out of a power hitter. There's really nowhere to put him defensively. But still interesting. It's nice that he's found a way to keep playing baseball. Always liked the Baby Bull. 3-1. The count now on Miguel Olivo. Olivo, catcher on that 2010 team for the Rockies. Only spent 1 year in Colorado. As he shoots this one the other way. Three-two bouncer into no man's land. Story comes charging, scoops it, throwing the dirt, but dug out by Todd Helton. And another 1-2-3 inning for Mike Hampton. We head to the 4th, still no score. Team USA coming up. We'll talk a little bit about Miguel Olivo. Arenado will lead things off. Walk back in the 1st. So Miguel Olivo, real quick. 2010, primary catcher, played in 112 games. Had a 269 average, a 449 slugging. Ultimately a 765 OPS. One of the best of his career. Arenado fouls one off. Had 14 home runs, 58 RBI, 106 hits on the year. He was a solid catcher for the Rockies in that 2010 squad. Always liked Miggy. Unfortunately, some of the other stuff, when he was with the Dodgers, is Arenado clubs this one deep to left field. Adios, pelota. Nolan Arenado, 464 feet. An absolute rocket off the bat. And Team USA takes a 1-0 lead here in the 4th inning. Absolutely turned on one. Outer part of the plate, Arenado, nice extension, wraps the bat around and hits that missile into left center field. 18.1 degree launch angle, 111 off the bat. So Team USA takes a 1-0 lead here in the 4th. De La Rosa comes back with a fastball to Tulowitzki to get ahead. A no-doubter, and they strike first here. Just 2 hits in the game. They've been hit very hard off of De La Rosa. Tulowitzki hooks one foul, 0-2. Another 0-2 to Tulowitzki. Misses low, ball 1. Interesting stuff. Runs inside, 2-2. De La Rosa, the career leader in wins for the Rockies, 86 wins. He's 6th in ERA with a 4.35. As this one's hit down the line into left field, Tulowitzki will settle for a single as Carlos Gonzalez gets to it quickly, and they're not going to test his arm. Ball pitch running in, and Tulowitzki turns on it, just gets it down the line as it hops over the bag. So man at first, nobody out for Matt Holliday. De La Rosa continuing to struggle here in most aspects of this game. Just struggling with his command to try and hit the plate. Here's the 1-0 to Holliday. That pitch misses low, 2-0. Misses up and in, 3-0. Jorge De La Rosa, 5th Rockies all-time in whip. A 1.381 as he loses Holliday here. So 3 consecutive batters have reached here to start the 4th for Team USA. Chris Iannetta double down the left field line in the 2nd inning. He got stranded. But De La Rosa getting into some trouble here. First pitch to Iannetta, called strike at the knees, 0-1. De La Rosa, 3rd best hits per 9, behind Ubaldo Jimenez and Ulysse Chassin. Popped up, foul territory around home plate. Olivo is there to make the catch, and one away as Iannetta is retired. There's a big opportunity there for Olivo. Charlie Blackmon will come up. He popped out around home plate. Back in his last time up. Runners on 1st and 2nd, 1 out. Arenado with a solo home run to lead off the inning. Team USA leading 1-0 in this best of 5, looking to stay alive, keep Team World from clinching here as they lead 2-0. 1-1 the count. Jorge De La Rosa on the mound for Team World. Got a piece of that fastball, 1-2. Jorge De La Rosa, also the strikeout leader in Rockies history, 985 strikeouts. He's trailed by John Gray and Herman Marquez, who both have over 800. John Gray comes up shy, over 100 shy, 849. If he had stayed with the Rockies, perhaps pitched another season or 2 in Colorado, probably would have beaten that mark. Now it's up to Herman Marquez, who has 2 seasons to do it before his contract runs out. Full count now on Blackmon. But sometimes De La Rosa, and we understand, he's significant in Colorado. Sometimes you just have to really look at the numbers and realize how good he actually was in a Rockies uniform. As Blackmon sends a liner into center field, Taveras coming in. He won't get to it. That'll drop for a base hit, and the bases are going to be loaded. Taveras had a strong break towards the ball. I believe Holliday had to hold up at 2nd to make sure it got down before he moved up. So bases loaded, 1 out for Eric Young. And watch a fastball high, ball 1. Eric Young just won a World Series ring as part of the coaching crew for the Atlanta Braves. Previous spent time as the Rockies' first base coach under Walt Weiss. Called strike the knees, 1-1. Armando Reynoso will warm up down in the World bullpen. Here's the 1-1 to Eric Young. Liner into center field. That's a base hit. Holliday scores. Coming in to score. Tulowitzki and Holliday both come in to score. So Tulowitzki, the lead runner, he'll come in to score. Eric Young Sr., that is, with a 2-run single. And Team USA extends their lead 3-0 here in the 4th inning. Runners on first and second. A little bit more speed now at first. You have Blackman at second. Young at first. And Trevor Story, 0 for 1. Does have a walk and a stolen base so far. 72 pitches for De La Rosa. So he's running out of time here on the mound. They'll have to turn to their bullpen here soon. 0-1 to Story. Misses up and in, 1-1. But De La Rosa has generally been a very solid starter for the Rockies. Never was going to be the Cy Young candidate, but definitely was one of the pitchers that conquered Coors Field. Was a dominant, reliable presence in that rotation. And by Rocky standards, he was an ace. He was a good pitcher. And a lot of other teams probably would have been like a 3, 4, 5 guy. But with the Rockies, ended up being one of those number 1 starters. Especially after Ubaldo Jimenez was traded away. But always a solid contributor in Colorado. The 1-2 misses outside, 2-2. But boy, was he slow on the mound with that. Just the pace and the wind-up and everything. Not simulated as well here in this game as Story rips one well foul. Two and two the count. 2-2 to Story. Misses low, ball 3. So full count. Runners in first and second. Likely won't take off with the pitch. Payoff pitch coming to Trevor Story. Bouncer, short. Uribe gets it. Flip over to second. The throw on to first. Not in time. Story beats out the return throw. Uribe. Backhand flip. Barehanded by Matsui. So we'll get Young at second. Story beats the throw. Blackman will move up to third. So men on the corners. 2 outs for Todd Helton. Here in the top of the 4th, De La Rosa trying to get out with any further damage. 3 runs already across this inning. Helton 0 for 2 with a line out and a ground out. Here's the 1-0. And a grounder to short. Underhand toss to second. Matsui's got it. And that'll end the inning. Uribe manages to get the final 2 outs, but Team USA takes the lead 3-0. Probably on the power of the home run by Nolan Arenado. We head to the bottom of the 4th. They lead it. Willie Taveras will lead things off for Team World here in the bottom of the 4th. Mike Hampton still out there. A little bit longer of a break between innings now after a lengthy top of the 4th for Team USA. It's what they needed, though. Put up some numbers. Likely will have driven Jorge De La Rosa out of the game as Taveras drops a bunt. In comes Arenado. Barehand throw on to first. Got him by a couple of steps. And the leadoff batter is retired here in the bottom of the 4th. Taveras trying to drop in a sneaky bunt, but Nolan Arenado so good defensively at crashing on the ball and getting the bare hand. If he tries to glove that in transition, Taveras is safe easily. But Arenado, with that expertise and professionalism, masterful work at third, is able to come in, round the ball, and barehand it and throw in one fluid motion to get the speedy batter. Hampton gets ahead of Matsui now, 0-1. And that's something that this Team USA team has it to their advantage of just how good defensively they are, specifically on the infield. Here's the 0-1. Popped up, right field. Bichette will come over and make the catch for out number 2. As Mike Hampton continues to just cruise along. But you have guys at first and at third for Team USA that have just been prolific defenders in baseball history. In Todd Helton and Nolan Arenado, 2 of the best to ever play their positions defensively. As Arenado continues to rack up the gold gloves at third base. He hasn't lost one since he's been in the big leagues. Todd Helton's got a number of gold gloves at first. 2-0 the count on Galarraga, as Hampton pitching a little bit more cautiously around the big cat. Pulls the string on him with the changeup, big swing and a miss. 2-1. This Team World lineup hasn't had as much, I guess, presence in this game that they did in games 1 and 2. So that ball's fouled away, 2-2. Left one up, Galarraga knows he missed it. So he does count 2-2. Hampton kicks and deals, trying to entice him with a changeup outside. Runs the count full. Larry Walker waits on deck. 2 outs here in the 4th. 3-0, Team USA leads it. Payoff pitch to Galarraga, and this one is blasted, no doubt about it. The big cat roars. Solo home run for Andres Galarraga, breaking up the no-hitter, the perfect game, and the shutout here in the 4th inning. Pitch up and away, Galarraga just unloads on it to blast it into the bullpen. 413 feet. Not necessarily huge exit velocity, but Galarraga is just so strong. He just shoots it the other way. And now Team World's on the board. 3-1, they still trail it. As Larry Walker watches a called strike 1. Didn't want to say anything, but I was hoping that Mike Hampton would be able to get through the 4th without any damage. Maintain the perfect game. Pitch in there 0-2. But I thought about it, and so it happened. So 0-2 to Walker. Changeup misses well inside and in the dirt. Almost in his batter's box around his feet. 1-2. This one shot the other way, a liner into left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Holiday will get it back in quickly. And back-to-back hits here for Team World. Again, shooting it the other way. As Andres Galarraga hits the Oppo Taco. And then Larry Walker with a laser shot into left field for a base hit. So Team World keeps it alive here in the 4th with 2 outs. First pitch misses high, ball 1 on Vinny Castilla. Castilla ground out victim in the 2nd. The 1-0. That's outside on the changeup, 2-0. Hampton's been efficient. 51 pitches now through 4 innings. Looking to shut the door here, get back on offense, and give his team an opportunity to score some more runs. Runs the fastball by Vinny Castilla, 2-1. Got to be careful when throwing a fastball to Vinny Castilla. He just pounces on those. Snap throw over to first. Walker's back easily. Had a pretty good lead. Don't forget, Larry Walker had some wheels on him. A true 5-tool player. Runs the changeup inside, 2-2. They go with another off-speed pitch down in the zone. 2-2 pitch to Castilla. Got him! Strike 3 on the changeup. Down in the dirt. Mike Hampton gets out of it, but Andres Galarraga, the big cat, shoots a big fly into right field, into the bullpen. He's got Team World on the board. They still trail it, though, 3-1 as we head to the fifth. Pitching change for Team World. Armando Reynoso will head out for Team World. Jorge De La Rosa gets through just 4 innings, allows 3 runs. Dante Bichette will lead things off. First pitch in there called strike. Contrary to that graphic, Armando Reynoso was not 18 when he played for the Rockies. Pitcher for the Rockies out of San Luis Potosi, Mexico. Played with the Rockies from 1993 to 1996. Another one of the top Rockies pitchers in history. 30-31 with a 4.65 ERA. Armando Reynoso, very solid pitcher. Over 503 innings pitched across 4 years. He's ahead here 1-2 on Dante Bichette. His best season came in that 93 year. Went 12-11 with a 4 ERA. This one's hit into left field. That's down for a base hit. Stumbling is Cargo. Bichette hustling. He'll get into second with a leadoff double. Gonzalez trying to cut the ball off. Stumbles and goes on a tumbling adventure out there in left. Trying to cut it off as he reached, loses his footing, knocked the ball down, so he didn't pick it up cleanly. So a runner at second, nobody out for Nolan Arenado. Solo home run his last time up. He watches the slider in there, called strike 0-1. But Reynoso, 270 strikeouts, 170 walks in Colorado, 1.473 whip, which you always want to see how a pitcher is in any given team or any season. Look at his whip, and for a starter, it's still isn't a bad whip. And this one's blasted into deep left field. Did he get it again? This one is out of here. 2-run dinger for Nolan Arenado, his second of the game. And he extends the Team USA lead 5-1. Another no-doubter for Nolan Arenado. Pitch inside, just turns on it. 446 feet, 99 exit velocity. Almost reached the concourse. But just like that, Team USA extends 5-1. Back-to-back innings with a home run for Arenado. Tulowitzki fouls one off, 0-1. This is the offense that Team USA has been looking for, that he eluded them in the first 2 games. And Mike Hampton's doing his part on the mound, giving them a chance with quality pitching, as Team World is struggling here. Jorge De La Rosa laboring through 4 innings, and allowed just 3 runs, but he struggled with his command. Tulowitzki, a grounder through the hole into left field. Again, 3 straight hits for Team USA here in the 5th inning. Nice and easy. Out on his front foot, but Tulowitzki able to get the end of the bat to it. Muscles it through the 5-6 hole. And at first, nobody out for Matt Holliday. Armando Reynoso. Runner takes off for second. Hit and run on. This one's into right field. Tulowitzki will put the brakes on and stop at second. You do not want to test Larry Walker, but the hit and run is successful for Team USA. 4 straight hits now in the 5th inning. And this is a nightmare scenario for Reynoso, as he gets ahead of Iannetta here, 0-1. 0-1 to Iannetta inside with the changeup 1-1. I never got to watch Armando Reynoso. No, I was not born until his final year with Colorado. Runners take off. The throw down to third. Got him. Going with the double steal. And Tulowitzki's thrown out trying to swipe third. Iannetta swung, so it's 1-2. Holiday moves up to second, but with one out now. Fouls that one away, 1-2. Team USA trying to get two men into scoring position with the double steal and trying to throw Olivo off with the right-handed batter up. And as Iannetta gets a hold of this one, sends it out deep center field, giving chase. Taveras will make the catch on the warning track. And Matt Holliday will tag up and move up 90 feet. So 2 outs now. Man at third. Look at this run by Willie Taveras. Long run. Had to cover 114 feet. 96% route efficiency. Top speed at 18.75 miles per hour. Willie Taveras, that kind of outfielder the Rockies have lacked over the last couple years. Grounder to third. Castilla will throw off 1 foot to first. That'll end the inning. But Nolan Arenado, his second home run of the game, this time the 2-run variety. And it's given the Team USA Rockies a 5-1 lead as we head to the bottom half. Still plenty of game left as Team World's not out of it yet. They're still looking to capitalize here and clinch the Rockies Baseball Classic. Team USA trying to stay alive here. Skip over Heidi Watney there. Carlos Gonzalez will lead things off for Team World. 0 for 1. Mike Hampton still out there. It's been cool, calm, and collected throughout this game. Starts him off with a changeup inside for strike 1. That's always a really effective way to pitch and smart way to start him off with the changeup there. Pitch backwards in that sequencing to some batters. You know, strike 1 doesn't always have to be a fastball. You don't always have to start a guy off with a fastball. You know, and sometimes it's wise to instead opt for, hey, I'll start you off with a changeup, a curveball, a slider, something off speed to try and establish that called strike. Or get guys off balance, keep them guessing. 0-2 to Gonzalez. Got a piece of this one, fouls it off. Arenado ranging back into foul territory. He'll settle under it and make the catch for out number 1. Drifting away, but Arenado with such great range. Turning his back to the field and chasing after the ball. Managed to make the catch. So 1 away for Juan Uribe. Here's the first pitch to Uribe. In there for a called strike, 0-1. Well, Team World with the lefty on the mound opted for the platoon situation. So they put in guys like Uribe, Olivo, Rosario. And this really hasn't worked in their favor so far, as Mike Hampton has just conquered this lineup through 4 1/3 innings. Going to drop the hook here. Bouncer on the sinker. Helton backhands, touches the base, and there's 2 away. But Hampton has just proven superior pitch sequencing here in this one compared to De La Rosa and Reynoso last inning. Where De La Rosa had command, he just struggled. Typically has command, but he struggled in those 4 innings trying to find the zone. And he'd get behind and then have to throw one over the plate. And Team USA showing a lot of patience and then would drill them when those pitches came. And Hampton's kept that trend on his end going of keeping the World batters off balance, mixing in those changeups, curveballs, and sinkers, and establishing that fastball for a strike when he needs it. 1-2 the count on the designated hitter, Willeen Rosario. Kicks and deals. Rosario gets a piece of it, but a grounder to third. Arenado sets his feet and throws on to first, and that'll end the inning. We're through 5 here at Coors Field. Team USA leading it 5-1. As Eric Young will lead things off. 2-run single his last time up. Drove in Troy Tulowitzki and Matt Holliday. Armando Reynoso still out there for his second inning of work for Team World. Reynoso hopefully might have gotten the jitters out, and we'll find a little bit more rhythm here in his second inning. Rockies made a change on their roster. They added Kevin Ritz to the roster to fill in the bullpen. Take the place of Scott Oberg. As Scott Oberg and Curtis Laskanik were taken off the roster. Carlos Estevez dropped off the world roster. As Young sends this one into center field, that's going to get down. He's trying to stretch it into the double to throw in, offline, and it's a leadoff double for Eric Young Sr. A hustle double to lead off the inning. Slicing away, Taveras cutting it off in the gap, but the spin and the throw pulls Uribe off the bag. And with Young's speed, he's able to slide safely into second. So runner at second for Trevor Story as he fouls that one off. 0-1. Story 0 for 2 with a walk and a stolen base. Here's the 0-1 to Story, misses low. Well, Eric Young, that speed was a defining factor of his game. It was a defining factor of his son, Eric Young Jr., who also played for the Rockies, the first father-son duo to have both played for the Rockies. As this one's lined into center field, Taveras will come up and make the catch. Throw comes all the way into third as Young stays put. Out number 1. Squared one up, but sends it into center field. That'll bring up Todd Helton. Helton's 0 for 3. Hasn't had much action in this one. It's likely mostly been the Nolan Arenado show. Pitch misses outside, ball 1. It's interesting to think that Todd Helton played with both Eric Young and Eric Young Jr. with the Rockies, which is incredible to think about. As Helton turns on this one and fouls it away, 2-1. Eric Young's other son, his name eludes me at the moment, but is an actor, child actor. As Helton sends this one the opposite field, it's got a chance, and this one is gone! Todd Helton gets in on the home run parade. Sends one to the opposite field into left. A 2-run shot. And for the first time in this Rockies Baseball Classic, Team USA Rockies have sim tacos. 364, just off the end of the bat, and gets it into left field, just over the fence. And that'll end it for Armando Reynoso as Franklin Morales now will come in. Franklin Morales, a staple of that 2007 team as a rookie. Split time between being a starter and a reliever. Wore a lot of hats. But most notably spent most of his time in Colorado as a reliever. Here's the 1-0 in there for a called strike. One to Dante Bichette. This one shot into right field. Diving catch by Larry Walker. Sinking line drive, and Larry says no. Makes the catch. What a beautiful play. Well, Nolan Arenado, his previous 2 at-bats have resulted in a home run. 3 runs driven in on the day. Here in the top of the 6th, Team USA leading 7-1. Franklin Morales on the mound. Big swing and a miss, starts him off with the fastball. Pulls the string on him with the curveball. 0-2. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Here's the 0-2 to Arenado. And that one misses outside, 1-2. That is a tough take there for Arenado. But he holds up, so 1-2. As Morales kicks and deals. That curveball now runs inside. 2-2. The 2-2 to Arenado just misses outside. Runs the count full. So Arenado, after being down 0-2, manages to force it back and draw a 3-2 count. Payoff pitch coming from Morales. Ripped foul. Remains 3-2. Arenado has been heating up. See if they can get away from him. Chopper to second. One-handed throw on to first. Matsui gets it done. That'll end the inning, but Todd Helton tacks on a pair of runs with a 2-run shot off of Armando Reynoso. He extends Team USA's lead 7-1. Miguel Olivo will lead things off for Team World here in the bottom of the 6th. 9-1-2. So they look to figure out a way to rally back, trailing by 6 against Mike Hampton. First pitch lined into the gap. Olivo hustling. He'll round first, headed to second. Blackman will pick it up, throw it in. Olivo not stopping. He'll head to third. The throw's going to come all the way home, and it's a leadoff triple for Miguel Olivo. And Team World's got something cooking here to start off the inning. Willie Taveras will come in. Will step in now. Grounder down the third base line, but just foul. Arenado with a diving attempt. Steve Reed warming up in the Rockies bullpen, or in the Team USA bullpen. 1-1 the count on Willie Taveras. Hampton, 69 pitches. Very nice count. 1-1 to Taveras. Pulled the string on him as he waves through that one. 1-2. It's been nice to see the offense come alive for Team USA. Check swing and the appeal down. They say Taveras held up. Evens the count at 2-2. Olivo at third. He tripled. That pitch misses low. Full count now. Matsui waits on deck. The key to neutralizing Matsui for the most part is you have to keep Willie Taveras off the base paths. And he fouls that one off, keeping it alive. Payoff pitch again to Taveras. This one's lifted out, deep left field. Holiday back to the wall, and he's going to make the catch. Olivo will tag. He'll score as the throw comes in just late. And that's a long sac fly for Willie Taveras as he wins that battle there. Came very close to drive it in a pair. But instead, Olivo will score off the sac fly. Team World now trailing 7-2 here in the 6th inning. Kaz Matsui will lead things off. Will stand in now. First pitch in there, 0-1 on Kaz Matsui. Been interesting to see here in this series, just the ebb and flow. It's never really been a tight matchup. One team will just go on an offensive parade while the other continues to struggle as Matsui drops a little blooper into left field. Matsui continues to not hit the ball very hard, but he keeps finding a way to get on base. So a stolen base threat on the base paths for Team World with Andres Galarraga. Solo shot into right field his last time up. Got the World on the board. Another opportunity here. Could quickly make this a different ball game. He can get a hold of one. He could easily make it a 7-4 ball game and put the pressure back on Team USA. Specifically, the Team USA pitching to hold them off offensively because we know they can rack up runs in a hurry. 2-0 to Galarraga. Changeup called strike at the knees. Galarraga out of Venezuela. Rockies' original first baseman, then handed the reins to Todd Helton. Pitch misses low, 3-1. Larry Walker waiting on deck. Hampton's looking to get a ground ball here. This one's ripped foul. Left one up, so full count. Matsui may get the green light here on the 3-2 pitch. The left-hander he may hold. He holds. The pitch. Bouncer in front of the mound. Only play will be to first as Helton sets up on the outside. So 2 away. Matsui moves up to second and a big out as they navigate Andres Galarraga, but not out of the woods yet. As now Larry Walker will come in. Single back in the 4th. Had a home run back in the first game. Went back-to-back with Vinny Castilla. First pitch to Walker. Misses low, ball 1. Hampton at 83 pitches, so still up in the air. He may come out for the 7th, or they'll turn to the bullpen. Falls behind 2-0. 56 strikes, 28 balls for Mike Hampton. Gets up to 90 pitches. This may be his last inning. Here's the 2-0 to Walker. That runs outside, 3-0. Vinny Castilla waits on deck. Preferably, you want to get Walker here with the left on left. It's at least more desirable than the left on right against Vinny Castilla. 3-0. Liner past the third baseman. Matsui will score. Holiday picks up in front of the wall. Walker into second with an RBI double. And Team World now trailing by 4, 7-3. Inside out swing, shoots it down the line into left field. As Arenado was playing a little bit more to his left. And I think that just might do it here for Mike Hampton. They're going to go ahead and turn to the bullpen. Mike Hampton, masterful through 5 2/3 innings, can't navigate the 6th. Allows 3 runs as now they'll turn to Kevin Ritz, the new addition in the bullpen. Long reliever. 1-0 on Castilla. Kevin Ritz. Pull up some info on Ritz. Pitch misses inside, 2-0. Kevin Ritz out of Eatontown, New Jersey. Spent 5 years in Colorado, from 94 to 98. 101 games, 98 starts, 39-38 record, 5.20 ERA. Here's the 3-0 to Castilla, called strike there, 3-1. Ritz in a big spot here has got to pound the zone and get the out to get him out of the inning. And then he probably would come out for the 7th. He evens the count now, or runs it full, 3-2. Walker at second. 2 runs already cross here. 3-2, grounded back up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. Walker rounds third. He'll come home. Throw goes into second. And now this game's getting a little bit more interesting. 7-4, Team World trails it here in the 6th. As they now continue to chip away at this deficit. The 3-2 pitch came in down in the zone. And now Carlos Gonzalez, man at first, 2 outs here in the 6th. Held hitless, 0 for 2. Curveball misses up. 1-0. Gargo, pop out and a line out. Ritz, his best year in came in 1996. Went 17-11, had a 5.28 ERA in 35 starts, 213 innings pitched. Fortunately, he led the league in earned runs, 125. Still one of his best years, though. Workhorse on the mound. Interestingly enough, 105 strikeouts, 105 walks that year. Eric Young picks up the grounder and throws on to first to finally end the inning. But Team World has made this one a little closer. They only trail by 3 as we head to the 7th. 7-4, USA leads it. Still, anybody's ball game. Yuli Chassin will get the nod here to pitch the 7th. Pitch the 7th for Team World. Chassin was a longtime starter for Colorado, and then they re-signed him for the 2021 season, initially as the long relief man, but then he sort of evolved into one of their reliable and most efficient late-inning guys, typically pitching in like the 7th or the 8th inning, became a setup man, so to speak. So that's how they'll use him here in the bullpen as a reliever. He gets ahead of Tulowitzki here, 0-1. Chassin, another native out of Venezuela. Always liked Yuli Chassin. As a starter, was always very good. And as he's bounced around the league a little bit after his time in Colorado, he's found a home as a reliever. Rockies signed him to a 1-year extension for the 2022 season. Happy to keep him around. 0-2 to Tulowitzki. He turns on this one, sends it down the line, and it'll drift foul. 9 feet outside of the pole. Definitely had the distance. 0-2 from Chassin. Grounded foul the other way. Chassin at Maracaibo, Venezuela. From 2009 to 2014 was with the Rockies, and he bounced around the league, then returned at the age of 33 in 2021. Tulowitzki pops it over to first. Galarraga makes the catch, 1 away. In 2021, pitched in 46 games, went 3-2 with a 4.34 ERA, just 64 innings of work. did deal with some COVID protocol, so he was out for a little while, but he went on some stretches where he didn't give up a run for about 2 months when he came back. Turned into a very effective reliever in 2021. But his best year as a starter, then came back one of those years, 2013. Went 14-10 with a 3.47 ERA, 31 starts. And then in 2010 and 2011, in 2010 he went 9-11, had a 3.28 ERA. 2011 he went 11-14 with a 3.62 ERA. Always was a workhorse, ate up a lot of innings. Chacín was kind of one of those under the radar guys that was very good. A very good pitcher for Colorado. And more or less turned into a bit of an ace at times. But it's still, I'm willing to think, he's been in the league 13 years. He's only 33. Made his debut in 2009 at the age of 21. And he's among one of the best starters in Rockies history. Line drive into center field. Tavares will pick it up and fire it in. So Chris Iannetta, or rather Matt Holliday, that is, wins the battle on the 3-2 pitch. Shoots it back into center field. Man aboard with one out for Chris Iannetta. Iannetta 1 for 3 with a double. Hasn't done much else. He rips this one foul. Tell you, the Team USA has had some loud foul balls. They've gotten a hold of a lot of pitches, but instead have hooked them foul. Here's the 0-1 to Chacín, or from Chacín. Iannetta will foul this one away. That went with the slider, 0-2. Initially, I was skeptical about Chacín, coming back with the team, as Iannetta shoots this one into left field. Because the early goings of the 2021 season, Chacín was hardly used. You'd see him maybe once every couple of weeks, and he would struggle. He'd struggle a lot. And I think a big part of that was the fact that he wasn't getting much repetition. If you're going to use him as a reliever, he needs to show up more. And ultimately, as he got a little bit more action, you saw the success start to pan out. The mistakes and the struggles began to decline. And ultimately, you found that he was your most reliable guy to go out and for the 7th and 8th inning type of thing. Here's the 0-1 to Blackman. In there for a called strike, 0-2. Blackman 1 for 3. So the early half of the season, they're like, man, I hope they don't bring him back because there's some other things we could do. Blackman into center field. That's going to split the gap. Close runners on the bases. They'll score easily. Holliday and Iannetta. The throw comes into third and a 2-run triple for Chuck Nasty. He's been looking for a hit like that this whole series so far. Sends one into the center field gap, into the alleyway, hits off the wall, and Iannetta and Holliday will score easily. And that'll end it for Chacín, as now Team World will turn to Manny Corpus to try and finish out this inning. As Team USA, Team World continues to struggle here in this game. First pitch from Corpus, wild outside. But Blackman will hold up at third. That brick wall behind home plate really helps with the kickback. Here's the 1-0 to Eric Young. Young 2 for 4. Called strike at the knees, 1-1. Top of the 7th. USA leading at 9-4. Charlie Blackman The 2-run triple. Nolan Arenado, the big story. 2 home runs in the game. 2-2 the count now. Eric Young trying to drive in another insurance run. Pitch misses outside, 3-2. Well, Jorge De La Rosa struggled or labored through 4 innings. And then Armando Reynoso pitched inning and a third. As Eric Young draws the walk, so Manny Corpus walks the first batter he sees. Still not a pretty sight for Team World as they continue to run out relievers. Trevor Story now, 0 for 3, had a line out in the first. Does have a walk and a stolen base, but he's had some loud outs. But now with 1 out, men on the corners. Eric Young, once again, got some speed at first. He'll hold, throw in, misses low, ball 1. Manny Corpus, interesting story for that wild card. 2006 to 2013 was his career. Pitched in Colorado from 2006 to 2010. Played with Chicago in 2012 and then came back to the Rockies in 2013. That would be his last year in the big leagues. 6 years with Colorado, he went 13-18 with a 4.01 ERA, had 34 saves in 311 games, pitched 327 2/3 innings. Played in 2007, he had 19 saves, so he really took over that savers spot with Brian Fuentes. And then 2010, he had 10 saves. Two-1 to Story. Curveball misses outside, 3-1. Helton waits on deck. Corpus has got to get a ground ball here. 3-1 to Story. Inside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So things continue to fall apart for Team World. They trail 9-4, and Todd Helton stands in with the bases juiced. 2-run shot to left field his last time up. Now he looks to break this thing wide open. First pitch to Helton. Called strike the letters, 0-1. Helton and Corpus played together on that 2007 team, of course. Played together his entire career. Here's the 0-1 to Helton. Chase the fastball up in the zone, 0-2. Blackman at third. He had a triple. Young at second. He walked. And then Story at first. He walked. Helton fights off another pitch, 0-2. Another 0-2 coming to Helton. Todd Helton lofts it into left field. Carr goes there, makes the catch. Blackman tags the throw into home. Not in time. Blackman gets around the tag. Sack fly RBI for Todd Helton. 10-4, Team USA. Dante Bichette will stand in, 1 for 3. Double and a run scored. 2 outs now, men at first and second. If you can escape Todd Helton with only giving up 1 run, consider that a win in my book. Here's the 1-0 to Bichette, misses outside, 2-0. Corpus really struggling with his command here. Already a pair of walks. Bichette rips one foul, 2-1. Another 2-1 delivery from Corpus. Fouled off again. Bichette staying alive. Well, if Team USA holds on to this victory, holds on to the lead and wins this one, as Bichette swings to that pitch, so Corpus gets out of the inning, but Team USA tacks on 3 more runs. They lead 10-4 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. A lot of work to do for Team World. Juan Uribe will lead things off. 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts. Kevin Ritz still out there on the mound for Team USA. I was going to say, Team USA holds on to this victory for Game 4. We'll likely see John Gray take on Herman Marquez for Game 4. Ritz, curveball outside, 1-1. Get a little bit into some more modern Rockies pitchers. Should be a good matchup, though, between those two guys. John Gray, Herman Marquez, two of the best, the current era of pitchers, some of the best in Rockies history. The 2-1 to Uribe, misses high, 3-1. Willian Rosario waiting on deck. 3-1 to Uribe. Home plate umpire says he offered at it, so full count on the shortstop. As Ritz winds and deals. Misses, ball 4. So leadoff walk for Juan Uribe to get things started here in inning number 7 for Team World. Let's look how close this pitch was, and might have caught the zone a bit, but just outside perhaps. So leadoff batters aboard, bottom of the 7th. Willian Rosario, pitch in the dirt, taking off towards second. The throw down, offline, and Uribe moves up 90 feet. Wild pitch from Kevin Ritz. Dinetta comes out, have a quick discussion. Calm him down. Pitch just got away from him, breaking ball in the dirt. Rosario swinging, fouls it off, 1-1. I guess it just shows the different lineup for Team World. Shook things up as Rosario sends this one out to right field. Bichette makes the catch. Uribe will tag and move up to third. So it ends up being productive. But now 1 out. Runner at third, and Miguel Olivo, 1 for 2, had a triple and a run scored. Hit a triple into the right center field gap. Slider misses outside, 1-0. Team USA trying to stay alive and force a Game 4. Team World still looking to clinch. They took the first 2 games, but the offense finally came alive here for Team USA in Game 7 or in Game 3 here. Kevin Ritz eyeballing runner at third. Juan Uribe at third. 1-1 to Olivo. Drops a curveball in there. Called strike 2. One, two, shot over to the right side. Knocked down by Eric Young, but he can't get the play. Can't finish the play. The throw to first, so Juan Uribe will score. Diving attempt there by Eric Young, knocks it down, but just took a little too long to develop, and Olivo runs well for a catcher, manages to beat it out for the infield single. 10-5. USA leads it. As now 1 out, runner at first here in the bottom of the 7th. Willie Taveras, sac fly, RBI his last time up. Fouled away, 0-2. 0-2 to Tavares. Popped up on the infield. Hampton will come in and make the basket catch, so an out number 2 here in the bottom of the 7th. Things kind of winding down now, hitting a bit of a lull as things calm down here. Hampton breezed through those first 5 innings and then got into a little bit of trouble in the 6th. And things have kind of slowed down here as the parade of relievers on both ends have just struggled to throw strikes. So we're getting some long at-bats for both teams. Pitch misses high, 2-0. A lot of patience at the plate from guys, but the pitchers just haven't been able to hit their spots. And that can make for a long game. Matsui lines one over to second. Eric Young makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. 1 run scores, so that'll bring it 10-5. World still trailing, but we head to the 8th. Team USA coming up. Manny Corpus still out there for Team World. They have a short bullpen, so well, they have more than they think. But they've run through quite a few guys. They need to save some for these next couple games. 1-0 the count on Nolan Arenado. First pitch misses high. Arenado with some classic Arenado action. 2 for 3, a pair of home runs. Evens the count 1-1. Corpus trying to just have a quick 1-2-3 inning. As they say, Arenado went around, offered at the fastball below the knees. 1-2. 1-2 pitch coming up. Fouls that one back. 1-2. 1-2 to Arenado. With the curveball misses outside. Arenado now, member of the St. Louis Cardinals. The rumors are that he won't opt out of his contract with the Cardinals. By the end of the contract extension he had signed while with the Rockies, it may end up that he's with the Cardinals more than he was with the Rockies, which is awful to think about. Bounces one foul. He'll go down as one of the best players in Rockies history. It's just unfortunate that he couldn't spend his entire career in Colorado, which I'm sure he would have been intent on doing. Pitch misses inside, ball 4, so Arenado with a leadoff walk. Corpus continues to struggle with his command. He's up to 28 pitches. They're going to have to figure something out because they're running out of guys, fresh arms for these next 2 games, or for the next game. Tulowitzki now up to the plate, 2 for 4. First pitch swinging, fouls one back. Corpus continues to be just erratic around the zone. Comes set, here's the 0-1. Misses high again, 1-1. Well, if I could have edited our managers, got Scott Servais, manager for the Mariners, still kind of works, at least for the context of this former Rockies in this area. Scott Servais, a former Rocky, with general manager Jerry DiPoto for the Mariners. On the other end, it would have been hard to find a world manager in Rockies history. As Tulowitzki blasts one to left field, Cargo going back to the wall, and this one is out of here. Tulo trotting around the bases makes it a 12-4 or 12-5 game. The 4th home run of the day for Team USA. The 3rd one for multiple runs, and they continue to push this one well out of way. Tulowitzki with a laser into left field. Bring up Holiday, nobody out. Bases are cleared. Manny Corpus still having to stay out there. Called strike, 0-1. The world of managers from around the world, the Rockies really don't have much variety there. It's by my recollection that pretty much all the managers have been born in the U.S. Probably Clint Hurdle probably would have been our manager here for Team USA, but Black was a close second. But then for Team World, it really gets thin. You'd have to really stretch and look at other coaches, bench guys, other folks to try and fill out who could manage that team for World. I guess you could turn to an actual player and say, player can manage. But who knows? Vinny Castilla can be our manager. Called strike 3 at the knees. Holiday goes down. Second strikeout for Manny Corpus. One away here in the 8th. At this point, you're just hoping this game can move on a little quicker. Minute 36. Playtime here. Game's gone a little bit longer than some of the others. One out for Chris Iannetta. They'll watch called strike the letters. 0-1. Corpus will not be available for game 4. May have to swap some guys around. The 0-1 to Iannetta misses inside. 1-1. For the sake of the sim, I'll give myself some leeway here. Grounder to third. Castilla will throw on to first. Out number 2. Nice rebound here by Manny Corpus after giving up the home run. Gets the strikeout and a ground out now. So one more. Charlie Blackmon, 2 for 4. 2-run triple his last time up. Came in to score. First pitch to Blackmon, lifted high to right field. Walker going back on the warning track will make the catch, and that'll end the inning. But Troy Tulowitzki tacks on a couple more for Team USA with a big fly. USA now leading 12-5 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. World running out of chances. Andres Galarraga will lead things off. Kevin Ritz still out there for Team USA. 28 pitches for the youngster, or for the Rockies right-hander. Galarraga 1 for 3 with a home run. In there for a called strike, 0-1. I was saying, for the sake of the sim, for the sake of getting more variety of seeing guys in the game, I'll take some off the roster. So, like in the first 2 games, we saw Curtis Leskanik and Scott Oberg for Team USA on the mound quite a bit. Took them off. They could return or replace them with Kevin Ritz just so they can have a little bit more variety out there in case. Galarraga fouls one away. Two and 2 the count. Fouls another one off. So just for the sake, trying to make it realistic, you'd have guys that they went out there and pitched quite a bit one day, probably wouldn't pitch the next game. So like Kevin Ritz here likely wouldn't pitch in game 4. But we could swap him out for an Oberg or a Leskanik. Payoff pitch to Galarraga coming up. Fouls back another one on the curveball. And then for Team World, probably bring back Juan Nicasio. Manny Corpus will come off. Called strike 3. Frozen with a slider. Hung one up and in, but Galarraga watches it all the way in. So 1 out to start off inning number 8 for Team World. I'll bring up Larry Walker, 2 for 3. Walker's had a reliable day at the plate. First pitch swinging. Lazy fly ball in the left field, ranging over his Holiday. He'll make the catch. And just like that, out number 2 is Walker's retiring on 1 pitch. Bring up Vinny Castilla, 1 for 3. Castilla with a still a good day at the plate. He's had a good series. Been playing well defensively. Here's the 0-1 to Castilla. Called strike, and he's well ahead here, 0-2. Going to have that 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 8th. And then hand the ball off to somebody like Brian Fuentes, Matt Belisle, Houston Street. There's a couple of the guys still down there in the USA bullpen. Curveball misses outside, 2-2. Over for Team World, they have Rafael Betancourt down there. Can't think of quite who else is down there. There's no Betancourt still out there. Jose Jimenez. Grounder to short. And Story's got it, throws on to first. And a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the 8th for Team USA. That's what Kevin Ritz needed. We head to the 9th. Top of the order due up for Team USA. There's just 3 outs left for Team World before this one's over. Jose Jimenez will get the nod here for Team World to pitch the 9th inning. Jose Jimenez. Get a little info on him. Now to San Pedro de Macorís, Dominican Republic. Jose Jimenez, Colorado from 2001 to 2003. During that time, primary closer, 102 saves. He's among team leaders in saves. 1-1 the count on Eric Young. Finished 69 games in 2002. That led the league. 41 saves that year. Had a 4.13 ERA with Colorado. He pitched with Colorado from 2000 to 2003, so 4 years. That was the bulk of his time. Went 15-23, 4.13 ERA, 102 saves and 300 innings of work. 173 strikeouts to just 93 walks. That's what you want out of a catcher. And his whip, 1.414 whip. Allowed 9.9 hits per 9 innings, just 0.7 home runs per 9. So not too bad. As he walks Eric Young here to start the 9th. So not how you wanted to start it. Is Team World has really struggled finding the zone today. Let me look a little bit more into the stats here for this one. After the game, get you a better, clearer picture. Popped up on the infield. And Galarraga will camp under it, make the catch in front of the mound. 1 away. Eric Young will stay put at first. Jose Jimenez gets the first out. Todd Helton 1 for 4, but he made that hit count. A 2-run homer. One of many home runs by the Team USA today. Called strike there, 0-1. Oh, 0-1 to Helton. Drops in there with the curveball, 0-2. Rafael Betancourt warming up in the World bullpen just in case. Helton rips one foul. Big swing and a miss. Runs the fastball by Todd Helton. So Jose Jimenez with 2 outs. here in the top of the ninth. Trying to get one more, and then Team World will have to hope for a huge rally. They'll need to score 7 runs to tie things up, 8 to win in the bottom of the ninth. First pitch to Dante Bichette. Chases a fastball, 0-1. Bichette 1 for 4, had a double and a run scored. Things settled down. Most part is it's been the mistakes on the mound, struggling to throw strikes, and then once the ball, out of that desperation, him having to throw it over the plate, that's when Team USA's been able to jump on it and get some of those big extra base hits and the home runs. Bichette rips one into center field. That's going to drop in front of Willie Taveras, who gets to it quickly. Could have maybe dived for it, but wisely holds up, catches the ball on the bounce. That'll leave Eric Young at second, who had to hold up. Not sure if he's going to try and move to third. So 2 outs. Men at first and second, top of the ninth for Nolan Arenado. 2 home runs in this one for the third baseman. 3 runs driven in, 3 runs scored. Both of his hits coming as home runs in the first half of this game. Here's the 1-0 to Arenado. Bounces this one foul. That is a weird-looking little ball man. 1-1 the count on Nolan Arenado. And he offers at it, says the home plate umpire. 1-2 the count. Jose Jimenez 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. Getting Team World a chance at the plate. Got a piece of that one fouled away. Game 4. Herman Marquez against John Gray. 1-2. Big swing and a miss. Foul. Tip it into the glove. Jimenez strikes out Arenado. We head to the bottom of the ninth. 3 outs to go. Team World's got a lot of work to do. They trail 12-5. Matt Belisle will get the nod here to pitch the 9th inning for Team USA. He'll face Carlos Gonzalez to lead things off. Matt Belisle at Austin, Texas. Pitched with the Rockies from 2009 to 2014. First pitch to Cargo, misses inside, ball 1. Signed a minor league contract with the Rockies in 2009. Then 2010, probably his best season of his career. Setup man, he went 7-5 with a 2.93 ERA with 91 strikeouts in 92 innings of work. Grounded to second, bobbled by Young for a moment, but he throws on to first as Carlos Gonzalez is retired. They continue to sign him to contract extensions. In 2011, he went 10-4 with a 3.25 ERA, 58 strikeouts in 72 innings. Bounced foul by Uribe. 0 for 2. Uribe is. Then he agreed to another 2-year contract extension in 2012. As Belisle strikes out Uribe for out number 2. So William Rosario, the last chance here. 0 for 3, line out in the 7th. He just continued to be, Matt Belisle continued to be reliable. It was never lights out, but a very reliable and consistent pitcher out of that Rockies bullpen. He went down as one of the best relievers in Rockies history. 0-1 to Rosario, misses high, 1-1. Belisle now looking for put Rosario away here. secure the victory. Rosario gets a piece of this one. Slow drifter into right. That's going to drop for a base hit. So Rosario keeps it alive here. Jammed him inside, but he manages to muscle it into right field. Bichette gave chase, but couldn't quite catch up to it. 2 outs for Miguel Olivo. 2 for 3 in this one. Rosario at first. And a called strike. At the letters, 0-1. Triple and a single for Olivo in this one. Expect Justin Morneau and Yorvi Torrealba back in there for Game 4. The 0-1 to Olivo. Misses in outside, 1-1. Trying to keep it alive and string things together. They need 7 to tie it. It's a tough order with 2 outs. 1-1 to Olivo. Big swing and a miss on the curveball, but misses. 1-2. Team World down to their final strike here in Game 3. They lead 2-0 in the series. 1-2 to Olivo. Big swing and a miss. And that's your ball game. The Team USA bats come alive here in Game 3. And they keep things going as we'll head to Game 4. As Team USA has to win 3 in a row to try and win this series. Team World now just needs one more win still. Mike Hampton, your winning pitcher. Jorge De La Rosa, the loser. The losing pitcher of record. But Nolan Arenado powered the offense. 2 home runs in the game. Todd Helton with a home run. Troy Tulowitzki had a home run. The long ball was living today for Team USA, along with the extra base hit, as Team World sends out a parade of relievers and pitchers and just struggled throughout the game. So the final score here, Team USA winning it 12-5. They score 12 runs on 16 hits. Team World, portrayed by Seattle, scores 5 runs on 8 hits. Mike Hampton goes 5 2/3, allows 4 runs on 5 hits, struck out 5, no walks. And Jorge De La Rosa lasts just 4 innings, allows 3 runs on 5 hits, strikes out 2, walked 4. Player of the game, Nolan Arenado with his 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Other notables for Team USA. Tulowitzki went 3 for 5 with a home run, 2 RBI, and a 2-run scored. Charlie Blackmon goes 2 for 5 with a triple and a pair of runs driven in. Eric Young goes 2 for 4 with a double and a couple of runs driven in. And don't forget Todd Helton's home run that drove in a couple. Notables for Team World, they still had some good efforts. Miguel Olivo goes 2 for 4, had a triple. Galarraga had a home run. Larry Walker with a double. He went 2 for 4. Kaz Matsui scored a run for Team World. Look here at the box score real quick. As we look at Team World really struggling. They struck out 8 times as a group, but the pitchers allowed 8 walks, only struck out 6. Really, Jorge De La Rosa allowing 3 runs. Armando Reynoso allows 4 runs on 6 hits in just an inning and a third. Then Yuli Chassin gives up 3 runs on 3 hits in just an inning, just 1 out in just a third of an inning. Manny Corpus walks 3, gives up 2 runs on 1 hit. And then Jose Jimenez with a clean 9th inning. Tough going for Team World at pitching, which has been a strength for them in the first 2 games, really struggling when they had to get to that bullpen. But Team USA capitalizing as their pitching staff really held down the fort. Hampton had a no-hitter into that 5th inning, and then Galarraga finally broke that up. But then Kevin Ritz, strong outing, 2 1/3, allows 1 run on 2 hits. Matt Belisle with a clean 9th inning. So that'll do it here for game number 3 in our Rockies Baseball Classic. Team USA stays alive. They now trail 2-1. As we head to Game 4, it'll be John Gray taking on Herman Marquez in Game 4 of our Rockies Baseball Classic. So thank you so much for joining us for another edition of the Purple Rose Sim. Again, I'm Skylar Timmons. You can find me on Twitter at @sideline_crowd. Always have a discussion there. Find us here on the Sideline Crowd YouTube channel, and also here on Purple Row. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. Final score here, Team USA wins it 12-5.